mind if you have something.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I mean, obviously I looked at the media schedule and, unless something crazy comes up, I won't be available on Friday. So, I talked to the players today and, I just want to make sure that, there's a lot that's gone on this year, whether it be COVID, social justice, the season, the way it's going. And, we don't always go, through that just alone. We're all going through this together. I think, I just want to make sure I reiterate, and I really, really believe this, that you guys, you go through it too, with us. And I just wanted to take a moment to, thank everyone and wish everybody a happy holiday and, in a time that you could spend it with family and friends and maybe, get away from this, for a moment. So I don't know if I can ever tell you, I don't really even know the words, probably because of my lack of education, that can really describe, what I'm saying, how appreciative I am of the way you guys have approached your job, saying in regards of, my situation. So I really do appreciate that. And I truly wish everyone a happy holiday. So with that, go ahead and ask me the questions that that you hate to ask.
Speaking of which, go ahead, D-Rock.
I hate to ask you this question.
I don't hate to ask this one, but I do wish you and your family too a happy holidays and Merry Christmas. And thanks for the kind words. Yeah. James Robinson getting snubbed for the Pro Bowl, though. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's going to be biased, right? I mean, I'm the coach and, but I think, the two guys that come to my mind are James Robinson and Miles Jack, for the years that they had. And, it's unfortunate when you don't win games, these things happen. That was my thing, the players, when I was position coach and, guys would talk about it, individual goals. And I used to tell them, I say, when you win, these are where these, they, especially with the old line. I mean, in New Orleans, we had a couple, we'd have one if we didn't have a good year, and we'd have like three or four sometimes, what I'm saying? Well, three really, if you had a good year. So, that's part of it. It's just unfortunate because, statistically, they've earned that right, but it's tough. But I thought those two players were deserving of that honor.
With James's personality and what you know of him, will this just kind of like roll off his back, water off a duck's back kind of thing, or will it be a motivator for him, do you think?
That's a good question. I don't see James outside influences being a motivation for him. But that may be the case, though, Mike. I've never talked to him about, why are you the way you are type thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's the only reason why I say that, Mike, is because you're talking about a guy that goes out there, he plays, he scores touchdown, he hands the football, he celebrates with his team. I mean, just everything that you want and just is taking advantage of every opportunity that he's been given. So, I don't know. I wouldn't, I'm sure when you ask him, he'll be able to tell you that. I'm not sure. I don't see him as that type of guy that looks to outside recognition to develop or to influence what he does.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, D-Rock. Let's go to Hayes.
Hey, Doug, appreciate your comments and certainly Merry Christmas to you and your family. Is Gardner starting at quarterback Sunday?
What we're doing is we told both players, Mike and Gardner, we're going to split the reps and see how practice goes. We're doing that, in a couple different, they're not the only position. We're looking at some other players and saying, hey, whoever has the best week of practice, what I'm saying, and try to get some, just make sure we get the right guy out there that can, do the game plans that we need to win. So, we got a competition going on, and we'll see who has, does well. Today is not a big day, obviously. Tomorrow will be, a big evaluation, and then, Saturday will be an evaluation.
Okay, great. And then what do the Bears do really well defensively?
They do a lot. Chuck's been a really good defensive coordinator. They got a bunch of good players there. I think that they're strong. They can hold a point. They can rush the passer. They have good coverage ability. So I think, they're good. They have all three levels. A linebacker that can make plays all over the football field. So, they've got some guys there that's, like I said, these teams that are in the hunt for the playoffs, they're good football teams. They're going to be, they're going to come in here hungry. It's obviously a big game for them, and it's a big game for us. Of what we want to accomplish to each other. Like I said before, when you're going through this, and I told the players today, there's a lot going on the outside. Whether it be, rumors of change or draft status, and I told the players that. I said, at the end of the day, we just have to concentrate on what we're concentrating on. And, the best thing we can do for each other is to pull together, keep doing what we're doing, and go out there and make plays and win a football game.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Thanks, Hayes. We'll go to Gene.
Hey, Doug. Hope you and your family have a great holiday. You talked a little bit about this on Monday, but obviously there's been 48 hours have passed. And it's been time for a lot of the people around the city, even some of the media, to start, the giddiness over the possibility of having the number one draft pick. And I'm just wondering, as a team, how does it feel to have that dynamic going on when, people are rooting more for you to lose because they feel like the long-term future will be better off with somebody like Trevor Lawrence, and as opposed to your locker room, which is trying desperately hard to get a win?
Yeah, I think that's what I addressed with them today, Gene. Because I had gotten those questions, on Monday, and and to say I don't understand it, like I said before, when I was growing up, I was a Detroit Lion fan, all right? And, the NFL draft to me is bigger than any other draft, really, right? Obviously growing up a baseball fan, I don't know, they used to 100,000 rounds in baseball, right? So that was never big, and that person had to go through the farm system. And then it was, and I was thinking about it after we got off the call on Monday. I was like, man, I was rooting for it because I wanted the Lions to draft Billy Sims, in 1980. And, when I got the first pick, I was all fired up, because I knew, they take Billy Sims. And I started thinking to myself, there I was as a kid. I never took into play, what those coaches and players on that team, must be feeling. So, for the first time, I look back and I look at myself. Well, looking now, I'm coaching, and this stuff's going on. It's kind of the same feelings I had when I was a kid rooting for my favorite team. So I always wanted to make sure that that I understand it, and I don't judge that. I don't look at that. I told the players today that obviously that's a lot of talk now. Obviously what's gone on. I told the players about. We don't know what the future holds. We don't know what tomorrow holds. But, hey, we're in here today, and our job is to go out there and win, and that's the best thing we can do for each other. So, and I told them, I said, you when you're not winning football games, there's going to be a lot of talk out there, and you have to understand that. It's what we brought upon ourselves, and to go ahead and battle to try to be argumentative and what. People that love the program and love the Jacksonville Jaguars, what they're feeling, it's their right. I don't really, I understand it. I don't really have a feeling either way. I'm not pissed off or, I'm not overly excited about it. I'm focused on, this team, these coaches, and trying to win this game. So that's kind of how I look at it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gene. We'll go to Gary.
Hey, Doug, you mentioned the other day about, I asked kind of a dumb question about young playing more young kids, and you mentioned, yeah, we played them all, which is true. And but I'm wondering, of the young guys who got the opportunity, nobody's rooting for injuries, but when they do happen and these guys get the opportunities, are Costin and Gotsis the ones who kind of leap to mind, maybe Clay Brooks, as far as the younger guys who took the best advantage of getting their opportunity?
Gosh, I'd really have to kind of look at the list because I don't want to miss anyone, but I can say that, uh, you know, uh, Doug Costin, yes, you know what I'm saying? Daniel, we're talking about the D line, Gossis, we felt, I mean, we brought him in here to play. Those two players of that were, free agents, that had gotten opportunity. I thought, Maben and Sidney Jones that weren't even on the roster, you know what I'm saying, beforehand, have gone out there and played a lot. Sidney's obviously out. And Claybrooks was a surprise because of, where we picked him and what we wanted him to do. And then all of a sudden he started playing corner, and, we know he can play corner and nickel. So he's taken advantage of that. I'm trying to think on the offensive side, obviously outside of James, I think everybody, we kind of knew, coming in and what they had. So I think those are the guys right off the top of my head.
Okay. And Merry Christmas to you and your family. Thanks.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks. And it wasn't a dumb question. So.
Thanks, Gary. We'll go to John Shipley.
Sorry, I couldn't find you.
Hey, Coach. Merry Christmas to you and your family as well.
Thank you, John.
I know it's early in the week, but just because of how the schedule is this week, is there any kind of injury update or likelihood of James and Colin being able to play this week?
Yeah, I think Sydney, I think it'll be tough, like I said before. James, what we're going to do is we're going to rest him. You know what I'm saying? I think, be cautious with him. But obviously, he's already said he wants to play, and it feels like he will play. That's him speaking. You know what I'm saying? Colin, I think it'll be tough for him. And that's pretty much it. The rest of the guys are on COVID.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Sorry if I missed that earlier.
No, you didn't.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Shipley. We'll go to Mark and then wrap up with John Reed.
Merry Christmas, Doug.
Merry Christmas.
You've seen a lot of former players roll back through here and on the road. What have you seen from this year from Allen Robinson, and what kind of threat is he against you guys this week?
Yeah, I mean, A-Rob's a great receiver. You know what I'm saying? And we know that. I mean, he's highly competitive. He has a good catch radius. He can run well. He runs routes well. He's tough. He can block. I mean, he's everything that you're looking for. So obviously he's a tough matchup. And, T. Gibbs back there, T. Gibbs been with us, and we have a ton of respect. I mean, he's played at a high level when he was here, and he's still playing at a good level. So, you see these guys, as you go around, on teams like all of us, I'm saying that have been coaching for a while, or you're coaching on different types of teams, and you come in. So, it's always good. I think that, you always like it when they're doing well. I mean, because obviously if you coach them, you want them to do well. You just hope that when you play against them, they don't do as well as they've been doing. Yeah.
Thanks, Mark. We'll go to John Reed.
How you doing, Doug?
Good.
Two questions. What can you see at this point in Week 16 with those two quarterbacks that would be any different than what they've displayed?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the question. I just don't. I want to see which one can execute the game plan, better during the week. To feel that we give the best opportunity, because I think, when I look at both of them, there's pluses and minuses with both, and knowing that I'm trying to get the best I can of who has the best week and gives me the best odds of playing the best on Sunday. I mean, that's what I'm trying to get done there. There's a couple other positions we're looking at, a couple of other guys, to see if they can help us that haven't played before, you know what I mean, to compete, this week to see who plays well. Like I said, I mean, we're just going to keep looking and keep trying to, put the best people in that we can win, not put people in there just to see what they can do, but just keep pushing everyone as much as we can to get ourselves over the top. So, it's not been good enough. I mean, you can do this at multiple positions, you know what I'm saying? But, that's a critical one. And I just want to make sure that we're putting the right guy in there. And, rather than come out and say it and then stick with it and then, maybe go back and forth during the week, I'd rather just open it up and see who does the best.
And just to clarify your statement, you said that James Robinson is going to rest. Does that mean he's not going to play Sunday? Or what
No. I was talking about today, John. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna rest him today. We'll come back tomorrow and do some stuff with him. And that's just, he wants to practice. That's a coach's decision. You know what I'm saying? That we're just keeping him back. Because today is just a lot of walkthroughs. So, he wants to play. So, we'll get him out there on Thursday, see how he runs around. He's not limping, not doing anything like that. I feel good talking to him that he's going to play. So, I was talking more about today than about the game status.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas to you.
Yep. Thank you, John.
Thanks, John, and thank you, Coach. As a reminder, we'll have Coach Washington here at noon, and then Coach Gruden at 12:15.